This is The Discourse with Dr. Ken.
For today, my name is Solomon Ikioda. I'm sitting in for Dr. Ken, who is the usual host of this discourse. So welcome. I trust that we are going to have a very good time. Our topic for today is the beauty and challenges of a young female chief executive officer. So we are sure that we are going to have a good time because it's a subject matter that should be of interest to people in business, to young people, and then to women as well. So you're welcome to the Discourse with Dr. Ken.
This is The Discourse with Dr. Ken.
It looks like the subject matter for conversation today is right at the intersection of business, chemistry, and biology. So we are not in a classroom, we are in a studio, but you see the reason why we are saying that today. Because we have a top flight business person who is sitting here with us as our guest. We have a chemist, her first degree is in chemistry from the prestigious University College London. And then we have a woman. So is it chance that our guest is a high achiever CEO in an industry-leading technology company? Like I said, with a first degree in chemistry from the storied University College London, and then a woman. All of this may give us a peek into understanding the magic or the alchemy of how the whole matter of woman is uniquely designed to bring transformational credentials to business. It has become an accepted fact now that women do well managing businesses. And that's why we have the whole concept of women who are breaking the glass ceiling. Mrs. Gozy Ijogun is a graduate of chemistry from University College London and also a Master's of Science degree holder from the London School of Economics. Gozy has contributed significantly to the digital landscape in Nigeria. She set up TD Mobile, Nigeria's first structured mobile devices distribution company. Gozy propelled the company to generate a substantial 3 billion naira in revenue within its first year of operations. Big, that's big. Gozy Ijogun is the current CEO of Task Systems Limited, a pioneer in the tech sector that provides innovative ICT solutions across various industries, including banking, oil and gas, media, manufacturing, and the public sector. Gozy is deeply committed to social change and is a lover of growth and development. So, welcome, Gozy.
Thank you.
Good. You may well be enlightening the business and management world on a topic that is gaining serious interest, the serious interest of boards and stakeholders. The topic again is the beauty and challenges of a young female chief executive officer. So my first question is in two parts. Okay. Part A of that will be riding on your very admirable credentials. Gozy, is it myth or reality that there is something about a woman that acts as a catalyst for successful business performance?
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, thank you for having me on this show. Thanks to you, Solomon, Dr. Ken, and the Classic FM team for having me on the show. To answer your question, I would say it's a reality that women bring unique qualities to the business landscape. It's not about suggesting there's a magic formula tied to gender, but rather recognizing the diverse perspectives and leadership styles that women would often bring to the table. Now, traits such as empathy, collaboration, and a holistic approach to problem solving are some of the valuable assets in driving successful business performance. So in this ever-evolving world of technology, diversity in leadership, including women, fosters innovation and resilience.
Okay, those factors you mentioned, style, empathy, diversity, I think the one that is most associated with women is the whole concept of empathy. Mm-hmm. Is that unique or stronger with women or with men now? when you talk about empathy now?
I won't say it's gender specific. You meet some women who are seen to be emotionless or are not seen to be to have empathy. You also meet some men who are very emotional and have a lot of empathy. So I wouldn't say it's gender specific. It depends on the individual.
Okay, I think a question we will ask later may want to be shifting us in that direction, because most of this is actually popular thinking, and that's why we ask the question if it's a myth or reality. So a lot of things are going to be clarified and a lot of things will be debunked. So please, that is part B of that. Okay. Does you really want to take listeners to the science behind the money? I guess we are going to be coming to the empathy side again now. Okay. And we know the peculiarities of men, talking about distinctions, now biological distinctions.
Yes.
So testosterone, which is a male sex hormone, which drives men to be very competitive. Or oxytocin. I ask these questions. Okay, these are right up your alley as a chemist, which is the love and the bonding hormone, especially prominent in women.
Yes.
Which one makes better bank? Which one gives more money? Is it about being competitive or about being able to nurture a company? So nurture and the competitive streak.
Okay. So like you rightly said, we've got testosterone.
Yes.
That's the hormone that has to do with, drives men towards competitiveness, ambition, being risk takers, right? On the other hand, you have oxytocin, which is, like you said, a love bonding hormone that has to do with empathy, relationship building, collaboration. Now, here's the real talk. In my opinion, success isn't just about which hormone is leading the charge. It's not a testosterone versus an oxytocin showdown, right? Successful business leadership, it requires to answer your question, successful business leadership requires a combination of both the testosterone and the oxytocin hormone. So it requires a combination of competitiveness, ambition, empathy you spoke about, collaboration. So basically, testosterone and oxytocin bring unique strengths to the table. So I'll say let's ditch the hormone rivalry narrative. In the world of business, success is about finding the right mix, leveraging diverse strengths, and creating a harmonious balance.
Very good. You sound to me, Gozy, like you are the middle of this. I'll tell you the reason. I'll tell you the reason why we are taking this perspective.
Okay.
What is the common saying? It may not be true. What a man can do, a woman can do better. Listeners are interested in this matter being settled today. As I think now, I remember the battle between when Billie Jean King, when it was said that no female can beat a male at tennis, and then the competition was hard. So can we settle this matter now? You are young, you're female. The subject matter today is deliberately about being a young and female CEO.
Okay, so I know I answered
don't know
that
if I
question
like your neutrality,
as
Gozy.
a politician.
Okay.
I answered that question as a politician.
Yes.
Well, the truth is what a man can do, a woman can do better, because
True.
apart from
Are
being...
you saying that's true?
Yes, of course.
Thank you. You are
Apart
talking
from
now.
being ambitious, right? The fact that we have that empathy, it adds a different picture to it. That's the truth. So, yes, men can be competitive. They're ambitious, but women are also competitive and ambitious. And we go the extra mile by having that empathy. And empathy does a lot in business, especially as a leader in business. So, yes, women rule the world.
So the whole concept of love, in business conversations is valid.
Yes, it is. It is. Because it's all about relationships. There's a book that talks about, the title of the book is Who Not How. I've forgotten the author, but it talks about how that's the only way to succeed, building relationships and partnerships. That's really the only way to succeed. It's not about how do I do it. It's about who can help me get there. And for women, because we're naturally empathetic, we're able to build those relationships easily with other individuals, and it helps a lot in business.
What I'm hearing is that nurture makes bank.
Yes, it does. It does.
Super. Maybe you want to give us more clarity about your business offering. So maybe talk about task systems now.
Okay.
So we're talking about 1 year of the business, and we're talking about how many billion does it say? In revenue, 38 billion?
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Gozy,
Thank you. So that the 38 billion was in my former role as MD of TD Africa. We started the mobile division, or I started in 2014, the mobile arm of TD Africa. Back then, they were known to do just computing and enterprise brands. So before I left TD Africa, earlier this year, we had signed on the major brands such as Infinix, Tecno, Nokia, Samsung, and even Apple. Yes. So we distributed not just in Nigeria, but across Africa. That was TD Africa.
Your footprint extends beyond Nigeria?
Yes, it
does. You want to mention the countries?
Okay, Ghana, through some of our partnerships with the OEMs, we're able to sell into other African countries.
OEMs are original equipment manufacturers.
Exactly, yes, such as Kenya, Malawi, several African countries, at least 15 African countries.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So that's TD Africa. Now, fast forward to April 2023, when I assumed position as the CEO of Task Systems Limited. Task Systems is a 36-year-old ICT solutions company.
I know that one.
Yes, you do. One of the oldest in the game.
Okay.
So we're a pioneer in the industry. And what we do is we provide both hardware and software directly to end users, such as oil and gas companies, manufacturing, telcos, and the likes. Yes.
Okay. I've heard two companies now.
Okay.
TD Africa.
Yes.
Task Systems.
Yes.
What's the relationship?
Okay. So the relationship is that they're both part of the Zynox group.
Aha. Yes. We're expanding it now.
We're expanding it, yes. Okay. So they're both in the Zynox group. The difference between TD Africa and Task Systems is that TD Africa sells to resellers. Right, who then sell to end users. Okay. While Task Systems is more client-facing, so we deal directly with the end users like banks and the likes. So that's the major difference between the two companies.
So what you are saying is that the phones we use actually come from you guys?
100%. Yes, they do. So we bring it into Nigeria.
How big is your share of this market?
Oh, I would...
If you're not mentioning percentages or whatever, but just give us a picture.
I would say about 60%, because TD Africa is the market leader in terms of phone distribution in this part of the region.
Oh, wow.
Yes. And I just named a couple of brands we deal with. There are other brands we deal with. So if you take all of that into perspective, we contribute about 60% of the phones you see in anyone's hand is definitely from TD Africa.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting you mentioned something. I mean, and those are two words that actually come in mind. Next question.
Okay.
Let's talk about what can be couched as the software-hardware distinctions in business management, which is we're talking about the whole soft issues of empathy now and all that, because you hear business is business, and I really don't know what that means, but people tend to say that when they are talking about... I mean, they're trying to tell you that all those touchy-feely aspects of business, don't mention that one here. This is hardcore, okay? So, again, who else is better able to talk on this than by a technology business leader, okay? Business generally now is experiencing transformation.
Yes, it is.
People talk about transformation.
Yes.
50 years ago, the contribution to the market value by tangible assets of a business, maybe the hardware now, the buildings and all of that, amounted to about 80%. Okay? But now there's been a flip.
Yes.
So, okay, now tangible assets contribute just about 15% today, and this is data. So we are in the heydays of intangible assets, especially brand as a major factor which determines, of course, we know that products, are the things that the company makes, but brand is the reason why people buy the products of that company. And you cannot touch or hold a brand and all that, but it's the emotions and memories that people have about the business, and that's the reason why people will choose or buy your offerings. So why for you to talk?
Okay. So let's talk about that hardware software distinction, right? Let's break down the software hardware distinction in this context. So the hardware, like you said, represents the tangible assets, the physical infrastructure and products. Think of it as the backbone of your operation, right? It's necessary, but no longer the sole driver of value. On the other hand, you have software, which embodies the intangible assets. That's the intellectual capital, innovation, and like you mentioned, the brand. In the ICT solutions industry where I lead, this distinction is paramount. It's not just about providing cutting-edge products, right, hardware. It's about delivering innovative software solutions that resonate with our clients, ensuring that value is created beyond the physical. So in this era of digital transformation, businesses need to navigate the delicate balance between hardware and software. At Task Systems Limited, we completely understand this shift, and our focus is on delivering a holistic ICT solutions that goes beyond the tangible, ensuring that our clients are equipped with the right blend of innovation and infrastructure to thrive in this intangible-centric business landscape. So I'll just give an example. Before at Task Systems, we are actually one of the 3 LSP partners in Nigeria and Ghana. LSP basically stands for Licensing Solutions Partner in Microsoft. So it's a big deal. There are only 3 in Nigeria, and we're one of them. And out of the 3,
maybe you should clarify that more, what it means.
Okay. So basically, what's an LSP? It's basically a Microsoft partner who is authorized by Microsoft to be named as the partner of record in enterprise licensing deals. So we do provide LSP services to banks, to oil and gas companies, to manufacturing companies. And there are only 3 companies within Nigeria that actually do that, and Task is one of them. Yeah, so that shows the importance of the software aspect. In the past, Task was known to be all about hardware, selling printers, laptops, desktops, all those things, right? We're not saying we don't do that anymore. We still do that because, of course, you need hardware for the software to work. We still do that, but we're shifting focus to software within Task.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yes, this term digital transformation is something I think that listeners will find of value. What is digital transformation?
In my opinion, digital transformation is, I won't say following the trend, but it's more about, obviously, technology is evolving on a daily basis. You can't just fold your arms and do business as usual, right? We have the likes of artificial intelligence taking over the world. If you don't go with the bandwagon, then you'll die in business, right? Okay. So it's about plugging, training yourself constantly, training your colleagues to ensure that as the world is transforming, as business is transforming, you're also going with the flow. Yes. So
okay, as business is transforming.
Yes.
I'll tell you a profound statement that I heard somebody.
Okay.
They can stop me.
Okay.
He said that businesses don't transform, that it is people who do. It stopped me, and I actually thought about it. I think it's again bringing us to the core of our earlier conversation, this whole idea of empathy and all of that. The machine and the man, the machine and the human being, because let me take this from the branding point of view. What you can get or what you can buy and what can be replaced and all of those things, maybe goods and products. At the end of the day, if you are competing at that level and with those factors, it's a race to the bottom.
Yes.
Because any person can acquire those.
Yeah.
It's the bit that people cannot acquire, that cannot be replicated. Let's look at the AI conversation, for example, where people are saying that cold, soulless machines and technology. Yeah. But the point is that you have to humanize it by bringing in the things that make a person a human being. So when you talk about transformation, which is actually a wider conversation that may be digital, or so what would you say to a statement like that? That companies do not transform, but it is people who do.
Yes. So I think I agree with that statement. It's not the businesses necessarily that transform. It's the people driving the business that transform, which is why it's always important to get the right leader and the right team together who will drive the vision of the company. So you may have a leader who is very old school and doesn't want to move with the trend, with the way technology is evolving, and that will hamper the growth of the business.
Yeah.
But if you have a leader who's innovative, constantly looking for ways for the business to remain relevant, then the business, that's a completely different story. That's a success story for the business. So I do agree with your statement that it is the people who drive the transformation within the business and not the business itself that drives transformation.
This is The Discourse with Dr. Ken.
Innovation is the introduction of new meaning to create new value.
Yes.
Good. Is there something that makes, because we have talked about empathy and all of that, now let's hone into the whole concept of innovation. Is there something about the woman that gives her those creds or lends those credentials to make the woman more innovative, or that help in instigating that in?
I think, especially for me, the fact that a woman, based on the country we live in and just the general demographics of the country, women are seen to work twice as hard as men because men have it easy all the time. So just being in that position makes you think, and at every point in time, you're innovative because you're trying to do way better than any man around you. And it's true, we have to work twice as hard, especially in a country like Nigeria.
You know why I will not argue? Because that's the subject, is the beauty and the challenges.
Yes.
That's the word.
Huge challenge. Massive challenge.
Do you want to mention some?
Okay, so I always find myself...
The men can eventually hear this and get more empathetic.
Yes, I always find myself in a situation where I'm in a male-dominated setting. So like you said, I studied chemistry. I think in my entire course, there were probably like 10 out of hundreds of people, 10 females out of hundreds of people within my course studying chemistry, right? So like I said, I always find myself in this male-dominated setting. But at the end of the day, it just makes you want to prove yourself and prove to everybody that what a man can do, a woman can do better. And I graduated with a 2-1 in chemistry from the University College London. Now, bringing it to business, right? Yes, I have faced a lot of challenges. That's the truth. I think it's also because of my appearance, right? I have 3 children. I'm married. I've been married for 10 years. But when a lot of people see me, they think I'm probably in my 20s. So that's already a problem.
You are speaking about the first one now, the beauty of it. So let me first compliment you on that.
Thank you. Thank you. So that's a problem, especially in the type of country we live in. So people don't take you seriously. When I walk into a room, obviously I carry myself well. I can give an example. A couple of years back, I walked in with one of my colleagues for a meeting and we sat down. My colleague introduced me as his MD and then the guy just started laughing.
He what?
He broke down laughing. That cannot be your MD. Are you joking? Seriously. So I just kept quiet.
No, hold on, Gozy. Was he serious? Or
he was serious.
Was it an interesting way of passing a compliment?
No, because he was very condescending in the beginning before we walked into the meeting room. Wow. I greeted him. He just acted like I was...
Who be this?
Exactly, who be this one? And we entered, sat down. He introduced me as his MD, started laughing. I just let it go. By the time we're done with the meeting, the guy felt thoroughly embarrassed because the knowledge was there, right? You cannot, I'm a woman, but once you have that content, there's only so much they can do. So he was thoroughly embarrassed after the meeting and even apologized for behaving in such a disrespectful way.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So those are some of the challenges we face as women in business.
This is The Discourse with Dr. Ken.
Somebody wants to know here, Gozy. He says, good afternoon. Is it Task Systems Limited or TAS? Sister, I think this TAS is spelling TAS. Now, there's no K to this.
Okay.
Okay, there's a company named TAS Systems. That's without the K. Back in the day, they were into two-way radio communications. Just to clarify what TAS system was. Is it Task or TAS?
It's Task Systems. Task as in task force. I know a lot of us resonate with that. So it's Task Systems Limited.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So that's do I see a name to this question? Well, okay. So that's the answer.
Okay.
Yes. On to the discourse with Dr. Ken. Okay. You are interested in growth.
Yes.
And social change. Good. So this will speak to the idea of social change, an area that's of interest to you, specifically concerning women. How is Nigeria doing in the area of economic activity that comes from digital technology? Because when people say digital, we keep saying that digital is technology. So, I mean, it's applicable to just about every area. So digital in this sense is the economic activity that comes from digital technology. So how are women doing in this regard in your space?
We still have a long way to go. I would say, yes, there's been some growth over the last couple of years. But I know Nigeria has been making some efforts to promote gender inclusivity, right, in the digital technology sector. But it's still work in progress. We're not there yet. There are several challenges that still persist, including gender stereotypes, like I've touched on earlier. There's limited access to education and training opportunities, and of course the cultural factors. But I must say there has been some growth, right? And of course with some initiatives by women bodies such as WIMBIZ and the likes. It's just all these things help towards gender inclusivity and women empowerment in general.
Okay, it would be nice when I ask this. It would be nice by way of maybe rendering solutions to let people who are listening and people who are interested know, so that they know what solutions to subscribe to help out here. Because there's a project called, that's global now, the No Ceilings Project. It says that 200 million fewer women have internet access than men.
Yes.
In the developing world. That's a huge number. 200 million fewer women have internet access than men. What could the implication of that be? Just that figure alone. If we are going to interpret
200 million fewer women
have internet
access.
Yes. Which means that an outsized population of men have internet women, more men than women do.
That's honestly such a shame, because women have so much potential.
Okay. Just
provide them with the right basic education and training, and women will excel, right? So it's such a sad story, honestly, hearing that 200 million fewer women have internet access less than men in the developing world. It's a shame. That's why the world is not progressing. That's exactly why the world is not progressing.
Because women don't have it.
Yes. Yes.
I agree with you, because the implication of this, what it means, for example, access to technology means that women can advance their economic participation.
Of course.
Okay. Digital citizenship and all of that. Okay. Access to jobs and healthcare and more. Okay. Because all of these things, there are consequences. There are consequences to this that we may not even know.
Yes.
So appraising this from a design thinking point of view, if we are going to solve problems and not the symptoms of it, we should know the reason why the things that are happening are happening that way.
Yeah.
So interesting concept. What is digital citizenship? You see, some of this does it mean, let me allow the expert to explain to us. So it means that somebody who is digital aware or something.
Inclined, exactly. Digitally inclined or digitally aware. That's basically this digital citizenship in a nutshell.
Okay.
Yes. And like you said, fewer women have access to that. So imagine giving women the same equal opportunities we're giving men. the world would be a better place. And I'm not just saying this because I'm a woman. I've seen a lot of women in the tech sector that are thriving way beyond what their male counterparts are doing. So just imagine if we give access to digital trainings and all of that to these women, then they'll do so much better.
I'll tell you where I'm in total agreement with you. Okay, because truly when women in the developing world get online, okay, 30% it says use the connection. That's internet, digital connection now, internet and all of those things to earn additional income. And I can begin to imagine what that will do for the home, for example. The data says 45% use it to search for jobs and 80% use it to improve their education.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's really impressive. And if you look at Instagram, for instance, there's a lot of social commerce. I'm talking about in Nigeria. Most of it is women. Women are making millions of naira from selling on the likes of Instagram, selling clothes, bags, hair, and the likes. Food, everything. They go to Mile 12. I've heard about, I think there's someone called Mile 12 Market Woman, right? She goes to Mile 12, orders things for people, and delivers to them. If that's not innovation, tell me what is.
Especially for a market such as ours.
Yes.
With traffic and then the condition of our roads and all of that.
This is The Discourse with Dr. Ken.
What will you say about this to policymakers, Gozy?
Sorry, I didn't get that question.
What will you say? You see, because everything depends on policy. Okay, good. And policy makes things a law, for example. So people are now bound to comply and all of that. In my thinking is that our policymakers should have understanding of things like this and how they now come to create or design solutions that will help women have more better access or easier access to digital technology.
I agree with that.
You mentioned I don't remember the organization you mentioned, but is there anything you are doing in this area by way of your interest in growth and development?
Okay, so there's always Girls in ICT Day that usually comes first quarter of every year, first or second quarter of every year. And what we do is we bring secondary school girls together. We get some of the different OEMs to come talk to them about technology. We get successful women in the tech space. Girls in ICT Day. Okay. Yes. So every year we celebrate that, where we invite a lot of girls from the various secondary schools. We bring them together in a room. And it's basically like a training session for them and an empowerment session for them to let them know that there's nothing wrong with studying STEM related subjects, right? There's nothing wrong with a woman going into the tech industry. There are huge opportunities for us there. So we usually collaborate with some of the OEMs, get them to talk to the girls and encourage them to focus on the tech sector. It's something that is really, we've seen a lot of success in that space because the girls come back to us and tell us how this session has changed their lives, how they want to be successful in the tech space. And then after that, we then get people in the organization to coach them through the course of the year so that we're constantly keeping in touch with them and just, understanding and getting to know their journey.
Okay, these girls in ICT, is it people who are... Oh, okay, it's not practitioners. I want to assume that it's young girls.
It's young girls in secondary school.
Secondary school.
Yes, secondary school.
And let me ask another aspect to this. In the cities? Or is it in the cities alone? Is it people in the regions?
Well, for now, it's in the cities.
Okay, so it sounds like it's something that you participate in.
Yes, of course.
Oh, in what regard?
So we were the ones who organized the event. So Girls in ICT Day is a global day. Yeah, so it's celebrated globally, right? So in Nigeria, in Lagos, we gather these kids together.
Who's winner? Your company?
My previous company, TD Africa.
Oh, I see.
But I basically spearheaded This Is Me. We call it This Is Me. So that's where we gather all the girls together and just encourage them about pursuing a career in ICT.
Interesting. That's impressive.
Yes.
Somebody is asking a question that I was wondering if this is related because it's taking us to politics. Tony.
Don't talk politics.
So Tony Ikeja says hello because he mentioned your company.
Okay.
Hello, the Discourse. Tony from Ikeja is asking, your guest is very conversant with tech. Can she enlighten us on the possibility of electronic voting in Nigeria now that INEC has discredited the beavers? It is good to know, and leveraging their impressive market share in the tech industry. This is an area they should create more awareness. Are we putting Gozy and our company to task here when we say, Tony, that when we say that they should create awareness on INEC, okay? Leveraging technology for voting. I don't know. I'm not sure. What do you want to speak to that?
Well, I don't really talk politics, but yes, I do. I know there were some issues around BVAS in the last election, and I believe the infrastructure is there. We just need to get the right people to know how to use it during elections, because I know all these things were provided, but were they used? I'm not really sure. So that's what I'll say to that. I don't talk politics, so we can move on to the next question.
Thank you so much. And I'll say thank you to the person who is sending something to me here. And to your guest too. He's saying good afternoon to you too.
Thank you.
So he says it's an interesting show and it has been so far. Glad to hear. Yeah, okay, good.
This is The Discourse with Dr. Ken.
Gozy, are there developments and innovations in, say, mobile, in digital? Okay, this phenomenon that's influencing the personal lives of all of us in such remarkable ways that you like for generally, and then the things you do too. And
Okay. I would say one noteworthy game changer is the evolution of 5G. Obviously, with its faster speeds and lower latency, right? 5G is unlocking a new era of connectivity. And we've seen significant implications for industries like healthcare, basically enabling remote patient monitoring, and even with
what's that?
So basically monitoring a patient remote, you don't have to be physically there because of the connectivity, how fast 5G is. It feels like you're literally in the same room as the person. A doctor is literally in the same room as the person. Also telemedicine, having consultations with doctors and all of that, because of how fast the 5G connectivity is, it's as seamless as possible. Especially in a country like Nigeria, the likes of MTN and co have adopted the 5G, and we've definitely seen an improvement in connectivity with that.
Yeah, okay. What about the big one now?
AI.
With the little name AI.
Yes, AI is taking over the world. At some point, some people won't have jobs anymore because of AI. I mean, look at the likes of ChatGPT, where kids are basically writing their entire final year project thanks to ChatGPT. So artificial intelligence, in the next couple of years, a lot of jobs will be displaced, and that's the reality, right? I know you had touched on at some point during the interview that there's a human factor that needs to be there, but the truth is, not all job roles require that human.
Oh yeah,
exactly.
So many you can repeat.
Yes, exactly. So AI is the next big thing. It's something I advise every individual, every company to watch out for, because it's going to take over the world.
But what we have seen with AI is that, of course, people generally are not usually given to want to change. Let's look at our context here in Nigeria. How are we doing, as you observe, in this regard?
I think there's been some improvement. So if you look at websites, right, for instance, conga.com, when you go on Conga, there's a prompt that comes up, or an assistant asking, what do you want to do, or what are you shopping for? That's AI. So you have voice assistants too that use predictive analytics. So there are a couple of things within customer service where you see AI playing out. You may not necessarily know it's AI, but you're going on a website, right? And you click on something. At the bottom, it'll tell you, these are some other items you may be interested in.
Okay.
That's AI.
Oh, yeah, because they know you are interested in this. So in this classification.
Exactly. Yeah. So all of that is AI, and it's already playing out in Nigeria. Now. Yes, it is. It is. It is.
Okay, your business or your company, how does task systems play in this regard?
Okay, so like I mentioned earlier, Microsoft is one of our top OEMs that we deal with in task systems. And the Microsoft Copilot just launched this month. This is November, right? It just launched in November. And that's basically the AI version of Microsoft. So obviously
it's called Microsoft Copilot.
Copilot,
okay,
yes.
What does it do?
It's basically, so it's incorporated into the likes of Microsoft Word, Microsoft PowerPoint, and it just gives some basic suggestions. So let's say you're putting together a document, right? It brings in suggestions here and there based on what you're putting together. That has never been done before. Microsoft PowerPoint, similar. You're putting together a slideshow. It can give you suggestions on put it this way or include this and all those type of things.
Okay.
So Microsoft Copilot is a game changer within the industry, and we're happy to be associated with Microsoft. We've already started training our customers, our end users, on some of the benefits they can gain from Microsoft Copilot. So it's something to watch out for.
Who gains more here? Is it enterprises or individuals who are using?
Even individuals.
Oh, I see.
Yes, even individuals. Yes, it's open to anyone as long as you use Microsoft.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Okay, so that's by way of innovations and all of that.
Yes.
Okay. So good. What would be your advice to young women specifically?
My advice is, well, as a gender, women are seen to always bring their female other women down. We're not always encouraging women, right? So my advice to women is
to be truthful, what you just said now, I hear it.
Yes,
so it's real?
It's real. Unfortunately, it's real.
Why?
I don't know whether it's competition or it's probably competition. I think that's what it is. But a lot of times you see women bringing other women down. When if we all work together as a team, then we can do so much more together. So my advice to women is, first of all, to uplift or support other women, to ignore some of these challenges we face. Yes, there will be challenges, especially in a country like Nigeria. But the most important thing is to have confidence in yourself and know that you can overcome these challenges. And of course, to working mothers, to mothers with children, my advice will be, try and find that work-life balance. It's very important. It's not easy, but that's the only way.
We must talk about that one, work-life balance.
Yes.
Okay. What would you have to say for that, for women generally in business?
It's not easy. That's the honest truth. It's not easy. Running a running a home, running a business, it's very difficult, but it's important that balance is there so that both home and your work life and home can succeed.
So you don't nurture a business and then the
home suffers, especially in this generation. As parents, we have to be intentional because there's a lot of madness in the society, right? So you shouldn't focus on your business and then ignore the parenting or ignore your husband. There needs to be a balance. It's not easy. But
it's business owners, boards and all of that. What are they doing in this regard to actually satisfy this peculiarity? Because clearly, we are not in an environment yet where men are having paternity leave and all of those kinds of things and all that. Because, these are incentives that should be. How widespread is it, or how aware are boards and businesses
I think
sensitive to this to this need?
Yeah, I think it's better.
So men
now.
can do with some empathy as well.
Men are all right, please.
Okay.
Men are good. Men are good.
Thank you. Thank you. Good.
But yes, there are I know some companies they have a nursing room for nursing mothers in case they want to express their breast milk and store
that's
it.
Growing, yeah.
Yes, that's growing. Of course, the work from home was a very welcomed development because mothers are able to balance even better, maybe spending 2 days at home and 3 days in the office.
Yeah.
So there are a couple of things that I know we're doing in Nigeria just to make life better for the working mother.
As for people who want to reach you, how open are you to that?
Well, I can always share my email address.
Okay.
I think that's a good place to start.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, so we can start with something at -- Task Systems Limited. What is your email?
It's Gozy at Task Systems Limited. No, at tasksystems.com.
Okay, Gozy at tasksystems.com.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
As I listen to you, and I'm sure that listeners are listening, do you do speaking? Are there opportunities for people to tap from your well of knowledge? I'll tell you the truth, because what I see is a young woman who knows Nigeria and who knows the peculiarities. So to be this successful in an environment such as ours, I see what is it that people say about giving back and all of that, because it's not an easy thing to even start off in this country, not to talk about even succeeding at it.
Okay, so I'm naturally media shy. This is actually my first time on radio.
This is your first time?
My first time ever.
And you have performed like this.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. But it's something I'm open to. Like I said, some of the events we have, like the Girls in ICT Day and stuff, I stand up and talk. But it's something I'm actively looking into, sharing my knowledge and talking to the younger ones, sharing my experiences, some of the challenges I've faced in business and how I overcome them. So it's something I'll look into.
Okay, wow. That's great. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, that's Gozy at tasksystem.com. Yeah, you got it right. Yeah, Ralph is very active on this thing. I'm sure you are going to hear from Ralph.
Yeah.
Okay. What else would you like for listeners to know? Because we are winding up now, and then we are going to. We usually have a ritual on the Discourse with Dr. Ken, this show, where we ask our guests to share wisdom by way of a proverb with listeners. We hear some very pithy and very, very conk proverbs here.
I'm not one of them.
No, you have a proverb or something to share. Something to share.
Well, I know Classic FM is old school. I'm not in that generation yet, so mine might not be as conk as that. Like you said.
Let me tell you. I mean, it's knowledge generally.
Yes.
I did not go to the school. You went to London School of Economics.
Yes.
But there's something about that school that I always remember when I hear, which is their motto, Rere cognoscere causas, which means happy is the man who finds out the cause of things. Yeah. Okay? Yeah. I mean, that is wisdom for me. It tells me the importance and the value, okay, of discovery about a subject matter and all of that. So we don't treat symptoms. We actually treat what the cause is, the importance of knowledge and things like that. So it doesn't have to be old or Latin or whatever. It's just about wisdom. So
Okay. So I'll leave a quote, which is, empowered women empower women. I'll repeat that.
Yes.
Empowered women empower women.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yes. And this basically encapsulates the essence of my journey and the philosophy at the core of my leadership. When women, like I said earlier, uplift and support each other, incredible things happen. So it's important, and it's a reminder that success is not just an individual achievement, but a collective journey. And together as women, we can break the barriers.
Okay.
We can inspire change and pave the way for a future where every woman's potential is realized.
Empowered women empower women.
Yes.
We may have 1 minute. There's something somebody is saying here. It looks like someone who needs some help.
Okay.
Hello, ma. Thank you for all this. For women supporting women. Some female bosses that must have gone through pregnancies and their subordinates are having issues during pregnancies. They always talk down on their subordinates, say, is it not the same pregnancy I went through? What's your take on this one?
No.
I guess this is taken care of by the whole concept of empathy already. But do you have anything for?
Well,
there's no name that has come with this.
That's not right? Pregnancy is different for every woman. So because you had it easy does not mean the next person will have it easy.
Okay.
So it's important, especially as female leaders, we have empathy generally. So I'm surprised a female leader or female boss would do that to their subordinate. That's very wrong. That's incredibly wrong, and it shouldn't be done. So I apologize if that was done to you.
Oh, wow. That's nice. Yes, thank you so very much.
Thank you.
Gozy, it has been a very interesting and educating show. And now there is, as we go on this show, usually I'll tell you, okay. Specifically, I'd like to clarify this because we are talking to a young woman. Classic FM plays classic, so that's why it's so called. Yes. So it's a song. It has to be a song that's not earlier. Is it later now? Okay, it must be a song that is before the year 2013. Okay. So what is your favorite song that you would like for listeners to share with you? A song you love.
So something related to women. Let me see.
No, it doesn't have to be related to women.
No, I want it to be related to women. So
it's topical and relevant to this
to
context.
Our conversation.
Oh yes.
So I'll say Superwoman, Alicia Keys.
Yeah, I'm sure we have that. Classic FM plays every song you know. So thank you so very much.
Thank you.
And that's it on The Discourse with Dr. Ken.